Today we're looking at the iWork GT by ALLDOCUBE. I want to thank them for sending this over to review on the channel. I'll leave a link in the description of the video with current pricing and more information. This is a 2-in-1 PC with a 10.95-inch touchscreen. Comes with Windows 11, Intel Core 11th Gen i5 processor, 8GB of RAM, has Intel Iris R Xe graphics, 512GB of SSD storage. It's got a full HD IPS display, 1200 by 2000 resolution. Also comes with Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, USB-C connection. Also has an HDMI port. It has 45-watt quick charge, 40 minutes to 50%. And we've also got the keyboard attachment as well. Does sort of look like the Magic keyboard that you would see from Apple. Pretty good size USB-C charging port, USB-C to USB-C charging cable, and of course a quick start guide. Might as well take a look at the keyboard while we're at it. Okay, the keyboard looks decent on here. A little tricky to get the plastic off the trackpad. Not gonna feel like the most expensive keyboard out there, but still pretty decent quality. See, you've got some air vents here on the top. You've got a headphone jack, micro SD card slot, USB 3 port there as well. Over on the other side, you've got 2 USB-C ports and a mini HDMI port there as well. Rear facing camera up in the corner, pogo pins there in the back for the keyboard. Nice and strong magnet here on the keyboard. Okay, so I feel like the battery must be dead on here. I'm just gonna leave it charged in for a while. As far as setting up, looks like pretty standard stuff here. You'll also want to set up security questions in case you forget your password. Probably not a bad idea. It's gonna take a few minutes here to get everything ready. Okay, so it didn't take too long to set up there. As you can see, pretty typical looking Windows 11 device here. Everything you need is just right here in the middle. Got all of your apps here. Search area. You can also add or remove desktops. You'll also have widgets over here once you sign in with your Microsoft account. Of course, it's got Microsoft Teams, File Explorer. You've also got Microsoft Edge, and then of course the Microsoft Store. You can also move around the windows pretty easily here, or expand it to fill the screen. Just long press down here on the icons to close all the windows. Over here on the right hand side, you've got your notifications. Some of your shortcuts down here like screen brightness, focus assist, battery saver, accessibility, airplane mode, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. So far it's using just under 37GB of storage, and it looks like it's got a lot of updates to do, so I'll go ahead and do this and then come back. One thing I do like on the lock screens for Windows devices, they always show you some pretty cool landscape photos or wildlife, sometimes just a really cool looking place that I'd like to visit someday. Now, one nice thing about having a Windows tablet is you can download some of the apps through the Microsoft Store, or you can just go right to the website, and you can watch YouTube videos up to 4K resolution. To me, I feel like the screen quality on here actually looks pretty decent for a mid-range device. I think most people will enjoy watching movies, TV shows, playing games on here. It's got decent viewing angles, and the screen quality actually looks pretty good in my opinion. I'm not sure what kind of pen works with this one. I know a capacitive stylus will work, but I would think there's going to be some better options out there for pens, but I haven't really had time to look into it. While the keyboard doesn't feel that premium on here compared to some others I've used, functionality wise actually works pretty good, and the trackpad seems pretty responsive as well. Now to me, I'm not really used to using Windows tablets, and while Windows 11 definitely feels like it's a little more tablet friendly, it definitely doesn't feel as polished as an iPad or even an Android tablet. Things on here just seem a lot smaller, and if I was going to be using this device on a regular basis, I would probably be using the keyboard attachment and using it more like a laptop. It is nice that it has the touchscreen on here though, because sometimes that's just quicker to tap on things, but just something to keep in mind if you're looking at getting this or just any Windows tablet in general. Now, as far as performance goes, for Cinebench, you've got 3906 multi-core score, 1307 for single core, and then Geekbench 5 testing, 1281 for single core, 4628 for multi-core score. So not gonna be the best performance out there, but still pretty decent. considering the price. Now, surprisingly, it let me download Steam on here to play some games like Rocket League, which actually played pretty smooth at 144 frames per second. Unfortunately, the resolution is a little too low, only about 1280 by 800. That's about as high as I could go. So obviously it may depend on what types of games you're going to be playing on here. Because Asphalt 9 was nice and smooth on here and has nice high-res graphics, it does tend to blow some heat out of the vents there at the top, but doesn't seem to overheat or anything like that. Haven't had a chance to run a battery drain test on this yet, but from what I can tell so far, it should last over 5 hours of continuous video streaming. So about average, I would say, maybe just a tad less than some other tablets I've tested. Should be plenty of power to get you through a normal workday, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. Now the speakers on here, not going to be the loudest out there. I feel like they could be a little bit louder, but at least you do have one on each side. Let me give you a quick audio test just to give you an idea of what this sounds like. Now as far as the cameras on here, definitely not going to be the best quality out there. Pretty decent shutter speed. You can scan documents, you've got whiteboard, scan barcode. As far as video recording goes, it can shoot up to 1440p, 30 frames per second. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect on the iWork GT. Now unfortunately, video and photo quality on this is not really good at all. Probably even worse than most of the tablets that I've reviewed, even budget tablets, which is kind of surprising on something like this because I could see people using this for Zoom meetings, video conference calls, stuff like that, especially with the keyboard stand. But unfortunately, the quality is going to be really bad on here, so I probably wouldn't recommend that. So hopefully this gave you a little closer look at the iWork GT 2-in-1 Windows PC by ALLDOCUBE. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from FHD Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.